Well, thank you for listening to on-the-spot interviews this week. My name is Timothy Graff, and I'm the creator of the ShareSpot.com. Our motto is people connecting over conditions, and I have the privilege of being with Matthew today. Matthew has become a local Long Island celebrity in the fact that Matthew needs your kidney. He needs your help. He needs somebody to give of themselves to sustain his life. So Matthew has invited me into his house today, and I'm very thankful to be here. These ShareSpot interviews aren't easy. And when I came into your house before, we sat down and we started just getting right into your life, and I feel like we connected. So let's talk about you. That's what this is about. This is about finding somebody who's going to give of their kidney to save your life. Yes. Growing up, did you have this problem? Is this something you started off life with?
No, I was actually born with a rare birth defect called bladder exstrophy,
okay,
where the bladder is on the outside of the stomach.
Okay.
It's very rare, and they really did not know what to do with it for quite some time. And we had a doctor that came from France that perfected a procedure, and he came over and did some experimental surgeries on me, and they found out that the bladder was actually too small to use, so they removed it completely, and they had diverted my ureters basically into the colon and then through the rectum. So it was kind of always different.
Yeah.
And so I dealt with that for, obviously many years. And
now, when you say different, I don't want to cut you off. So growing up, were you able to play in the playground? Were you able to play with the other kids? Were you able to be as fast as them, strong as them?
Yes and no. Because of the bladder exstrophy, there was a lot of things they obviously did not want me to do. Participate in certain sports, recess at school.
Contact sports?
Contact sports, right. Gym. So I kind of had to sit on the sidelines of that type of stuff. But I got into other things, instead of, doing that while in school. But, that never really stopped me from...
Your parents ever stop you from doing those things? They supported you?
They supported me.
Right.
They never hovered over me. And they let me be a kid.
Yeah.
And they let me experience things and do things, and just to let me figure out basically how far I can go, what my limitations would be.
Yep. I love that. So now later on in life, you start getting into racing bikes?
Yep. I started racing BMX bikes about 23, 24 years ago.
Okay.
And I had done some stuff before that. I did some skateboarding, and I even tried Little League. And kind of just wasn't for me, and then I got into the bike stuff, and that was my passion after that. And
so you went from no contact sports to risking your life every single day.
Yeah, into
good
racing
move.
Bikes. Yep.
Yeah, good move, Matthew. So tell me about what we're going through now. Can I just say how I heard about your story?
Sure.
I'm getting ready for work last week, and because the ShareSpot is my baby in a sense, it's something I really connect with on a regular basis, and something that I really want to promote, because we're here to help people. We're here to share people's stories. I was getting ready for work, and I saw a national news program air this young man's story, and I live 10 minutes away from him. And I yelled down the stairs to my wife, and I said, Alexis, you have to turn on the news. You have to see the story. So we automatically connected with Matthew, and the fact that we want to help him. We want to create awareness that this young man has a long life ahead of him, and he needs a kidney. So I'm seeing your story. Mm-hmm. We reached out to you on Facebook.
Yes. And
automatically said, let's do the interview.
Yep.
For yourself, or do the interview for a greater picture?
It's just not me. It's a bigger, much bigger picture. Like I said when we were talking earlier, as of April, we are now over 100,000 people that are on a transplant list right now. So I'm one of many people that need this.
In the United States?
Yes. Yeah.
100,000 people?
Yes.
And you weren't happy with just being on the list?
No.
What did you do?
I wasn't happy being told by a doctor that you have to find your own living donor. So when they did tell me that, it took a little bit to sink in. I was upset at first, and we really didn't know how to go forward, and I let it all digest for a little bit, and I said, I know how to go forward. And that's when we created the Facebook. So
you have a doctor that tells you, Matthew, you're going to have to go on a list. You're just going to have to sit back, and hopefully somebody comes to you and gives their kidney for you.
Pretty much.
How serious is this kidney problem right now?
This is late stage 4 renal failure.
Late stage 4.
Yep.
What is sustaining you?
Nephrostomy tubes. I have 2 tubes that go into my kidneys that take the load off and basically do the job of the kidneys for now.
Now, can these tubes be long-term?
Not really.
So they're a short-term fix.
It's supposed to be a short-term fix.
So you're using every social media in the world
Yes.
that we have available,
Yep.
from news
Yep.
channels to paper ads
Yep.
to public newspapers
Yep.
to the top major social networks,
Yep.
and you're asking the people of our world
Yep.
to give you a kidney.
Yes.
And also for every other person out there that maybe hasn't been as aggressive as you have,
Yep.
to help them out as well.
Yep.
I saw something the other day where somebody said, I wish I was a match for you. And you said, but go to this website and there might be other people that need your help as well.
Yes.
So this isn't just a story for you to share about yourself.
No.
This is promoting the longevity of everybody else that's on a list.
Yep.
What have you done social media wise? Do you have a Facebook page where people can connect with you?
I have all of them.
Okay, great.
I have a Facebook, which is MattsKidneyKampaign. That's campaign with a K. I have a Twitter account, which is also MattsKidneyKampaign with a K. And I
Okay.
also have a website that a very close friend of mine created for me
Okay.
called MattsKidneyKampaign.com.
Pretty soon we're going to connect them on the ShareSpot.com as well. Come on
Yes.
now, Matthew.
Of course.
When you first put your story out there, was it something that the media took right away, or did you have to be aggressive? Because I want to help people out there, because I know there's going to be people listening to this interview that say, hey, I'm on a list as well. And there's nothing worse than someone says, I just did it. Tell us what you did, if you don't mind.
I started the page, and it started out very small because I was only able to reach out, to my friends, and I basically relied on my friends to share my story to their friends, wherever they may be, whether they're from other states, and hopefully try to get it out, throughout the country from there. But it did stay pretty local, and that I think was the toughest part because I needed it on a bigger scale.
Right. And time is of the essence for you.
Time is of the essence, yes.
So let me get out there as fast as I can.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Are you hopeful right now? Do you feel like what you've done is, by putting yourself out there, do you feel like you're doing all you can? Is there something more you want to do, or have you reached the limits?
No, not at all. There's obviously way more I can do, and I'm going to. I just got to take one thing at a time, and take it as it comes, and try to go as far as I can with it. But no, by no means am I done at this. As I'm going to keep going.
Do you look at yourself as a pioneer right now, in the fact that there's not a lot of people that have actually taken the social media and put themselves out there as a cry for help, saying, and we're going to get to beautiful girlfriend, a fiance in a little bit, Megan, but saying, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to prolong my life as long as I can and be a voice for those other people. Do you feel like by going on social media, you're a pioneer? Do you feel like you're being someone different than everyone else?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've seen other people do similar things, but they haven't done it with, I guess, such on a big scale, and they haven't done it with so much persistence and really trying to get after what they really need and what their point is that they're trying to get across.
You told me earlier when we were talking about your company that you work for. Mm-hmm. What is the company?
It's Premier Utilities.
Premier Utilities. And they did something very special for you.
Yes, they did.
Tell us about it.
The job I was working at the time, when I did find out that I was sick, I was a manhole inspector in New York City, and we are subcontracted out by a bigger company, Con Edison. And so when I had gotten sick, I had been home for about 8, almost 9 months, and I had spoke to all my supervisors, project manager, and a lot of other people in the company, and they really stood by me, and they really helped out as much as they possibly could with either sharing my story and becoming friends with me on Facebook and following me, or just calling me on the phone.
Yeah.
I would talk to them quite often.
What did they do for you?
They actually created a paperwork side of the physical job that I was doing beforehand.
So they created a job for you so you wouldn't have to commute,
Correct.
do the physical walking, which is labor intensive,
Yep.
and they let you stay indoors with a job.
Yep.
That's amazing. You don't find that that much in this day and age. I want to ask you a question. What are your kidneys operating at without the tubes? What percentage?
13% without the tubes.
13%. And what type of donor can donate to you?
Anything in the O family.
So-
O positive, O negative, and they basically have to have a pretty healthy background.
Okay. Is there a certain age limit they can be?
18 to 43.
18 to 43 in the O family, O positive, O negative. Pretty healthy history. You don't want to give somebody a kidney that you're not healthy yourself. And Matthew is in desperate need for your kidney today. It's not all the time that you can say in your lifetime that I actually saved a life. But you can say this with Matthew. But it's not only for his life, it's for his fiance's future. And this is Megan. And Megan, thank you so much for going on here with us today. I know you were hesitant to do it, but your story needs to be told. I connected with you guys instantly when we came in and we started talking because you were real people. You seem like a fighter. You seem like you'll do whatever it takes to preserve your relationship and see a bunch of little Matthews running around.
Yep.
Made a couple little Megans. So tell me your story. How did you both meet?
About 7 years ago, we met actually on the internet,
Oh, awesome.
and we spoke for probably about 3 weeks on the phone, and then we met in person. And he was very forthcoming with his, the bladder exstrophy and stuff. He basically told me that he hadn't had any health issues since he had the major surgeries and the reconstructive surgery when he was 16. So pretty much the first 2 years that we were together, it was perfect. He was very involved in everything. He has a race car that he likes to race, and he was very involved with the BMX bikes. So
I have to ask you a question. Here you are, his girlfriend. We already know right now that he's a fighter. He's doing whatever it takes to get this kidney. And he was a BMX racer.
yeah,
So he didn't let any limitations that he was told in life hold him back. He was going to go for whatever it took to be the best.
right.
Was he good at racing bikes?
Yes.
Tell the truth now.
He was. In 1995, he was number one for BMX, and then he also raced in the Worlds in Kentucky in 2001. And that's actually one of the reasons why I fell in love with him.
All right. Come on, it's all right.
He's definitely been dealt a bad hand in life, and the fact that he overcame all of this and did everything that he could to live a normal life. I knew right then and there that he was the one for me. And it's just very difficult to see somebody that you love so much go through this.
So let me ask you a question. You love him?
Yes, very much.
When I walked in, I met you both. I could tell instantly there's something different about you two. You have a deep connection. And you're going to do whatever it takes to find this kidney for him.
Yes.
And although he wants the same for himself, he's worried about everyone else on that list too. That's on the donor list. So you're fighting for him and he's fighting for the world. Again,
Yes.
taking on a big challenge.
Yes.
Matthew, you said before, why me? Now, I guess my question is, out of everybody that's on the donor list, 100,000 plus people, why you?
Why not me? After my evaluation with the transplant team, the doctors then told me and put me in a position where I needed to find my own living donor, that they would not be able to find it on my behalf, that I would have to go out and seek it myself. So, with obviously it being 2014, we have all sorts of social media and all these different outlets. Why not? Why not go out there and try to post it and try to bring awareness and try to make this as big as possible, because we are so overlooked and we are not really, talked about either. So, if I can bring more awareness to this with Facebook, the ShareSpot.com, Instagram, Twitter, any type of news or newspapers, to put it out there and to make people talk about it, make people listen, and make people aware, so they then can tell their friends, or if they know somebody that has something going on that's very similar, that they can also try to give them a little insight, or maybe a little perspective, or maybe just a little background information on how they can do things, or how they can use social media to their benefit to get their story out there and to find what they're looking for.
So from a very young boy, Matthew, you were told you can't do this and you can't do that because of your conditions. And every single time, what did you say?
I don't like to be told that I can't do something. So when I'm told that I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more. So I went out and I tried to do everything I possibly could do, and try to be as normal as I possibly could, and try to enjoy my life. I have obviously a lot to live for. I have a lot of future plans and stuff, and Megan and I want to get married, so we hopefully can do that, and we can then hopefully start a family, and we can teach our kids the things that we've learned, and how to be fighters, and how to not take no as an answer, and how to be very strong. So
when someone gave you a negative, you turned it into a positive.
Turn it into a positive.
Love that. I'm Tim, and this is On the Spot Interviews. Thank you for tuning in this week.